Hello, sir. Supriya from NDTV. It's a pleasure meeting you. It's quite remarkable, sir, how you've grown from a very small entity to an 800 crore company. In fact, when I was coming here, I was reading your fact file about your company, and really a very remarkable growth in a lot of ways, sir.
Today, infrastructure development is the requirement in India, and we believe that we are yet to do so many things, and therefore the business development is a part of this development now.
We'll be spending the day with Mr. Sethi to figure out what are his big bets in infrastructure and where does he see growth really come from. Sir, you started this as a single person's entity when you were doing water pump agency business in Guwahati. Today, all your two brothers, you yourself, are involved with this kind of a business. Why did you choose to make this bet 25 years back? How were you so convinced about this growth?
My parents started it. My father started in Guwahati. In fact, he moved to Guwahati in the year 1962 after finishing his graduation. And that time the Guwahati refinery was going on. So there was a lot of requirement of water supply system in that. And then he moved to this business of pumps, motors, and this is how we started in Guwahati. And we remained in Guwahati till 1980. And after that, when the alpha problem started, then we decided to move out of the state because of insurgency and other things. So we strategically wanted that we should move to 3 places, one to Calcutta, one in Delhi, and one in Bangalore, so that we can look after the entire country's business.
So really, in that some sense, the strategic bet has paid off so very well for you. So there you see a perfect case of how political turmoil sometimes leads into the foundation of really big business happen here. We're going to have a quick breakfast with Mr. Sethi's family, head to the temple and then to the site.
हर साइड पे जाती है ये।
दिल्ली में रहते हैं और कलकत्ता में आपका इतना बड़ा बिजनेस है। इनफैक्ट अभी मिस्टर सेठी मुझे बता रहे थे हाउ आपका बिजनेस गुवाहाटी से शुरू हुआ एंड नाउ 800 करोड़ एंटिटी है सर। आपको कैसा फील होता है, हाउ डू यू फील अबाउट द सक्सेस ऑफ योर सन?
मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि बच्चे ने कितनी उन्नति की है थोड़े समय के अंदर ही। टुडे हम लोग भी दुनिया हिंदुस्तान में अच्छे बिजनेसमैन में आते हैं, हमारा नाम आता है, बहुत सुनते हैं तो अच्छा लगता है।
That's wonderful. In fact, most parents are proud of how their children perform than what they have done. Really, true.
Parents are never envious of their children.
That's true, sir.
पेरेंट्स को तो उनके बच्चे उन्नति करेंगे तो अच्छा लगता है।
हाँ, मैम आप लोग पहले गुवाहाटी में रहते थे, फिर वहाँ पे पॉलिटिकल इंसर्जेंसी वगैरह के वजह से आपको मूव आउट करना पड़ा, दिल्ली, बैंगलोर, कलकत्ता। एक तरह से तो आप खुद ही बहुत ग्लोब ट्रॉटर हैं, क्योंकि आपके तीनों बच्चे अलग अलग जगहों पे रहते हैं, तो आप अलग अलग टाउन्स में जाते रहते होंगे। आपको सबसे अच्छा सिटी कौन सा लगता है?
जहाँ आ जाते हैं वहाँ अच्छा लगता है।
That's wonderful, I think. But let me come to you, ma'am. 25 years and the company has grown so big. Does he still have enough time for family and for you especially? Time होता है?
हाँ होता है।
I know. वो कितना ज़रूरी है अभी आज के लाइफ में। टाइम मैनेजमेंट, वाटर मैनेजमेंट से शायद ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है।
पूरा टाइम देते हैं।
As you can see, the Sethi family is now getting ready to visit the temple. That's something Mr. Sethi does every day before getting into work. So we'll follow him there and then head straight to the site. After the customary visit to the temple, Mr. Sethi is now going to accompany us to his project site at Howrah, and we'll figure out what is really water utility management and how much of it is underway. power transmission and distribution is a hugely government regulated thing. But now there's just so much of investment coming up. This sector is really hotting up, so to say. The big power IPOs are coming, Power Grid, Reliance Power IPO. Do you at some stage think that when this business becomes larger than it is for your company, you would probably be looking at hiving it off into a separate company, a separate entity?
No, this is not in our thinking process. We would like to ensure that SPML as a company grow in totality. We do not want to hive it off. Because today size does matter. If you hive it off, the size, the company becomes small.
That's right.
And the value of shareholders, the value of shareholder gets diluted. And we would like to, in our mind, one focus is very strongly that how to increase the shareholders' wealth.
That's right. That's right. This is going to be a 1-hour drive from where we are right now to the project site. We will actually see how the power transmission and distribution business, a recent bit of the company that has got into, is really taking shape, is really taking off. And as Mr. Sethi rightly pointed out, he has no immediate plans of hiving it off into a separate entity because size does matter, as he says. This is the Jangalpur substation, the power distribution place where Mr. Sethi has just set up a new power station here. So in some sense, this is really the beginning of what we're going to see in times to come. Mr. Sethi will of course walk us through and tell us how this is an important venture for him. With our safety helmets on, we will now take a walk through the facility. And Mr. Sethi, let me begin by asking you, this is really, in some sense going to supply electricity to these industrial hubs here. Yeah. How important is this really in your scheme of things?
This is very important because there are more than 20 bulk consumers here, and they were not having access to proper electricity, and their production were suffering.
That's right.
So, Government of West Bengal through West Bengal Electricity Board decided to augment the power system, and therefore this scheme was thought of, where the power is coming, bulk power is coming, and this is being distributed to all the bulk consumers so that they can have a quality power and all the time power, which was not there earlier.
Also, Mr. Sethi, water was really a big bet and now it's power. So let me ask you, where do you see power business grow? Where do you see growth really come from?
Both. I tell you, in infrastructure, water will grow, power will grow, and all other logistic system which is required for infrastructure will grow. Power today is the challenge in the country because our per capita consumption is so low.
That's right.
Because there is no availability of power.
True.
Once the power is available, the consumption rate will increase, and this business will grow the moment all the power stations which are like megawatt 4,000 megawatt power station, 1,000 megawatt power station will come. There will be a huge opportunity in this.
Sure. So the huge opportunity in power, as Mr. Sethi talked about, is what we will be seeing going forward. But as he rightly said, this is really the ripple effects of what real estate, what infrastructure in India is doing. So all the while he was in water utility business, but now power is the next big thing for Sethi Group. So really this is ground zero where work really happens, and now we headed to the head office of the company, where really the back-end operations, the project management, the pulse of the company is going to feel right in those offices there. So we are here at the corporate office of SPML, and Mrs. Sethi will now be into some very crucial meetings to decide the group's future ventures. We'll sit through some of those. Sethi Group just some time back picked up a stake in your company. Take us through the details of that. And also now that the company is growing and you are into segments and sectors which are really the fast growing, the booming sectors, do you expect to see a lot of investments coming in, a lot of private equity queries must be coming in?
Definitely, Sethi Group has invested about 14.99% in the company, and they are a strategic investor. But we will not dilute for few years to come, till we come to a size which really $1 billion company, which I believe that we can make it to by 2010, based on the order booking and based on the size of business available. And today, any company which has a passion, which is willing to work, have enough cake to eat.
I'm curious to ask you here, you were listed way back in '83, which is almost 24 years back, and not at a time when the markets were really doing well, or the whole bit of listing had not really picked up. What was the insight? Why did you decide to actually tap the capital markets then?
We were advised that time by our chartered accountants that you should do listing, so that you start yourself and you mature yourself to govern a company in the manner a listed company should be governed.
That's right.
And that really helped us. In fact, right from that period we were maintaining our systems and procedures in the manner a listed company should govern.
That's right, that's right.
So,
but you just spoke about a private placement by Citi Group, about 14.99%. You said you ruled out placing any more equity now, but once you reach that $1 billion mark that you have in mind for the company by 2010, will we see more stake dilution happen? Because you've reached a certain valuation.
That time, see, not the stake dilution is not the appropriate word. You need funds.
Okay.
And the funds can come only from two places. One is a debt, one is equity.
That's right.
We will definitely leverage the debt position, but definitely we will need to leverage our equity positions also. So basically it's the leveraging your equity, not the dilution of...
That's right, that's right. I stand corrected there. So it's really leveraging equity and not diluting it, as Mr. Sethi points out. We'll sit through some of the important meetings that will happen in the office today and figure out where is the next big phase of growth, where is the next big leap for the group coming from. A symphony of ideas, really. So 25 years of the company, and here's a coffee table book to commemorate that. So what a glorious 25 years it has been. How do you look back at it, and where do you see the country 25 years hence?
Whatever we have done in last 60 years, I think we will do in next 10 years. That's the first, which I believe that this country is now capable of doing. And whatever we have done in last 25 years, we will do in next 5 years. This is how we see ourselves.
You've done very well in India. You're, an end-to-end solution provider in a lot of spheres. Isn't there markets other than India you're looking at? Aren't you beginning to tap the global markets?
Yes, there is a huge opportunity, not only in India but most of the developing countries, such as Middle East and Africa. We are looking at both the places, and Africa would be our next choice, where still what we were 25 years behind is today is that Africa. So there is a lot of opportunity in Africa, and we have formed a team to cater to the international division. Hopefully next 1 year you will see us in global arena.
We're now going to head to one of these HOD meetings and figure out how projects are developing, because I'm told at SPML here there are project mapping solutions. So at the click of a button you can figure out at what stage of a project life the project really is in, whether it's off track, whether it's on time. We're going to figure out all that and a lot more. If the camera can just pan to my right, we'll see how there are these motivational posters all over the place. It's the vision, the core values, the team spirit about SPML. Sir, let me ask you here, last year was the first time that you hired about 100 engineers in all. What were your reasons of doing so? Because I do believe there was some kind of opposition within the company to this big move you were making.
The infrastructure growth is so heavy today that we need the trained engineers for making sure that each and every project have the right people at the right place. So therefore we decided to hire 88 engineers, to be very precise.
That's right.
And to make sure that they are trained within the SPML culture and are posted at each project site.
lunch is a meal Mr. Sethi usually shares with his family here, and usually his wife actually comes to work and then stays on and to understand what his projects are up to. But today, since his parents are in town, we're joined by them. Which are the new states you're going to begin work with? What are your new projects? And also, you know, there's this new project that you were talking about, Institute. What is that, and you know, which are the companies doing it presently?
You know, our company, we basically want to do something new, and based on our access to various foreign companies, we found that a job today there is a huge problem of waterlogging in most of the cities like Bombay, Calcutta, Delhi.
That's right.
And the problem cannot be sorted out just by laying new pipes for getting them out, or repairing the existing pipe through a conventional method. So a company known as Institute Farm of USA, we tied up with them, and in fact we are forming a new company, Institute Farm India Limited, where we will have 50% stake, the other company will have 50% stake, which will entail that existing pipeline to not only to get the pipe repaired, but also to insulate it. And those pipes will be as good as new, which were laid 300 years ago, 200 years ago.
About 4:30 in the evening, Mr. Sethi is going to change and will be going for a very special evening. He's promised us. We'll figure out what. And right now, I think I need a steaming cup of tea. There you see, Mr. Sethi is not just a professional businessman. He is a very nice husband as well, because he knows just how to keep his wife happy. A hectic day of work, and now we're headed to the Ganges to do something special. We'll figure out what. If you've ever been to Kolkata, this is something you would always remember. This is the fairy land. Mr. and Mrs. Sethi have brought us here, and this is what the surprise was for the big evening, a jetty drive along Ganges. Behind us, you can see is the famous, iconic harbour, with something that Calcutta is completely, Kolkata I must say, is completely identified with. I'm tempted to ask you here, sir, you've gone into port development, you're developing the Pondicherry port. Which are the other ports you're looking at developing, and what is the kind of business opportunity that you really see there?
You know, there is a huge opportunity in the port area because we don't have many ports in the city country. So when we found that there is an opportunity in Pondicherry, and we submitted our request to the Pondicherry government in a competitive bidding basis, and we are now in the process of doing the environmental clearance, which is the must for any port whatsoever. Howrah Bridge is a fascinating thing. Howrah Bridge, and then across that Vivekananda Bridge, both are quite fascinating. And you really enjoy the evening, and with the breeze coming up, fresh breeze, so you really enjoy it.
So there you see the success of business all lies in a work-life balance, with the Howrah to my left and the Vivekananda Bridge on my right. This is perhaps the best way to describe how the Sethis really spend their evenings together. Where are we headed to next?
I will take you to a surprise place again, because without which you won't finish Calcutta.
So the surprise really was the puchkas of Calcutta, and really it completes my trip completely. Thank you so much, sir, for this. It's been a truly remarkable day here in the city of joy of Kolkata. I probably couldn't have asked for more. With puchkas to end my day and the fountain right in front of me and the Victoria Memorial behind me, we wish Mr. Sethi and his company the very best in all his new ventures as he realigns his verticals and restructures his business to attain greater heights. This is Subhash Sethi signing off in the city of joy, Kolkata, with camera person Biswajit Das.